What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video. Reacting to This Tool is Bad News for Techs Who Charge Too Much by Philip McKnight. So what's going on, everybody? Today, going to be reacting to This Tool is Bad News for Techs Who Charge Too Much by Philip McKnight. As always, if you have not subscribed to Philip McKnight already, please go ahead and do so. And also, go to the description of this video for the original video and give that video a like. And also, don't forget to leave a comment on this video, my video, on what you'd like to see me subscribe to next. Okay, so for those of you that haven't watched Philip McKnight before, he does a lot of really in-depth reviews of guitars. We'll take the guitars completely apart, take a look at all the actual parts, really dives deep into the nuts and bolts of a guitar in the review, in most cases. Now, for this video, I haven't watched it yet, but he's talking about a new tool that will revolutionize doing your own tech work at home. Now, disclaimer here on this, I have just, after about 35 years of playing guitars and basses, started to do my own tech work, and I'm going really slow and starting off on the really inexpensive Harley Benton's that I've been getting. If you are going to do any tech work, I urge you strongly to go slowly, only do it at first on inexpensive instruments, and if you have anything that's really valuable, or especially if you have any vintage type instruments, bring them to a qualified technician first. I thought I'd just, do a reaction video because this is my journey as much as it might be your journey. I'm starting to do a little bit of my own tech work, but by all means, I'm still going to use actual guitar technician Jay, my guy here at Custom Guitar Shop in my area, for all the major stuff, but I'm having some fun. I'm toying around. I'm really enjoying starting to do a little bit of my own tech work. So let's get to it. Let's check this video on out.
Today we're going to be sharing a tool with you, and I have everything here to show you. This is by Music Nomad. This is brand new. This is the Safe Zone Fret Crowning Tool. Now, Why is this so interesting? Well, if you guys know, a lot of StewMac tools that are pretty good, they make something called the Z file. The Z file is a very good file. This is a $100 file, and the Z file is probably one of the most talked about crowning files in the industry. And I think it's just been made obsolete by definitely the home hobbyist, but even your regular guitar. So the Z file, it's a diamond file. So because it is.
Alrighty. So like I said, I'm getting into doing my own repairs. They're talking about using crowning files here. Fret levelings and crowning your frets and all that is light years above anything that I'm prepared to do. What I've only done thus far is I've done my own setups. I've swapped out pickups, bridges, and tuners so far. I am going to be taking care of my own fret sprouts from my inexpensive instruments. That's way different than doing anything like this, doing your own fret levelings and recrowning all of them. I don't know if I would ever try that anytime soon. If so, I would probably start doing it on something like my Harley Benton Telecaster copy that I got for a whopping $108, like I've been doing everything else on. But yeah, I don't even know if I want to do that because it's a good guitar, even though it's on only $108. But okay, this is way above my pay grade for, all these sort of guitar mods that I was thinking of, but still nonetheless, let's check it out.
It doesn't have its traditional teeth like a regular file. You can go in both directions, kind of just crown round over the frets. Why that's important is after you level the frets, we always say crown and level, but it's really level and then crown. Once you level a high fret or all your frets, if they're new frets, you need to round them back over. The reason is because you want the surface on
I
top
know.
of the fret to
Just don't know how to do it.
to have as little contact with the string as possible. Okay, it just helps the intonation, and it just helps the guitar perform better. The folks at Music Nomad came up with this thing called the Safe Zone file. Now it also is a diamond file, so you can go in both directions. Like the Z file, it's two-sided, and that's to make it so you can pretty much cover every fret size. So one side will be more of a narrow medium size frets for your vintage to medium frets, and then the other side will be your wider fret wire, and you can kind of get a feel for it each side, but you're going to be able to cover every type of fret wire. What they did that's crazy, it's such a great idea, I wish I would have thought of it, wish somebody would have thought of it years ago too. They made it to where when they did the diamond on the file, they left the center with no material. Let me show you, because I can talk about that for an hour. Let me show you something. Let's take this guitar right here, and I've already kind of went through this guitar, and it has a high fret somewhere right there. Okay, so we have a high fret right here. Okay, so that's our 9th fret. A few months ago, I showed you this amazing tool called the Fret Kisser. This is by Stu Mack. Now, currently, Music Nomad doesn't have a product like this. What this is a fret rocker, like we just used on the 9th fret right here. So here's a fret rocker showing its hide. The Fret Kisser is a fret rocker, also has diamond file on it. And so that when you find a spot, I've showed this before, you can just file down that spot.
What? Okay, I got myself a little techie toolkit, but I ain't got nothing like that. I got one file in particular that works for the fret sprout. Again, I have not yet thought about getting into this part of things, although I do have a guitar tool tech kit that has a whole bunch of files that, you know, if you really know what you're doing and want to get in there and file them down by hand, they're not quite idiot proof, but this seems like the kind of tool that a guy like me needs. It's kind of idiot proof. It almost kind of does it for you. Interesting. And what he's saying is the new tool that he's showing off today, he thinks is quite a bit better than that. Interesting.
Okay. Now, there's a ton of different ways. If you don't want to spend $100 for a fret kisser, you can make one with sandpaper using about 350 to 400 grit. And let's check it now to see if we've corrected that. Still high. And I'm doing, hold on, let me. Now what's important is I'm also doing this fretwork on a guitar with stainless steel frets. A lot of times people ask me if you need special tools for stainless steel frets. You don't. Stainless steel frets can just wear down your tools faster, and so you're going to get less life out of your tools. Okay, so let's check again. All right, and then to double check with this fret rocker, and just a little bit. We almost got all of it with this fret kissing tool. So,
wow.
Whoops. So it's going to be a little bit more stubborn. And now we don't have, let me just double check. Yeah, we don't have any high frets. In the past, what would happen is you would use something like the Fret Kisser, and then you could use like the Z file, and you could just round over the fret. But what they did at Music Nomad is they made it pretty much dummy proof. So let's go ahead. These are jumbo frets. That's 12th fret. What you can do on this one, and I want you to listen.
Sounds different now. Said listen.
Almost. Wow, that's really nice. So what it does is you keep going until the sound changes.
He's not even taping down the fingerboard.
And you can hear it now. Hear the sound. It's not scratchy. So now you have a perfect.
See, one thing that I thought that almost anybody would be doing anytime they're doing any filing on the frets would be taping it down with, like, you know, any sort of painter's tape or anything like that, you know, some sort of non-stick tape of some sort. But Seems like these tools are done good enough that he's not really going to be whacking away on the actual fingerboard and getting any scuffs on there, I assume.
Perfectly rounded fret. In fact, I dare say better than the other frets. I'm going to do all the frets because this is actually a superior fret. I'm not kidding. This fret is more rounded than these other ones, which again is going to improve everything from intonation to playability. So now at this point, you can use steel wool. I would cover up the pickups, or I like micro mesh, and you can buy this at StewMac, but I buy this on Amazon, and it starts at $1,500 and it goes to $12,000. And I fold it over on the side like this, and then I use a fret guard.
Okay, for that he's using a fret
And now
guard.
I just polish that
I've
fret
got some fret guards too.
using micro mesh.
All right.
Now, some of you guys are going to have preferences of tools, of sanding blocks or polishing. You can use fret erasers, whatever you like, but this is what I like. And essentially, well, it's already 1,000 times better. And we're just going to keep going. So obviously, go to the next one.
I would still, like earlier,
Now,
like I said, earlier, that's just me. But then again, I'm super paranoid because, like I said, I've never done anything like this before. When he's using those other files and actually filing on the fret, you couldn't use a fret guard like that because you wouldn't be able to get in close enough. But I would still maybe tape down the frets so that way, if you are getting in a little bit in there, not the actual frets themselves, you know, the part of the fingerboard, not the fret, pardon me. You know, yeah. Tape down the fingerboard.
Stainless steel frets, I still recommend using some steel wool. I find that it really helps with stainless steel frets. Okay, and then we're going to double check that since we know it looks good now. Yeah, nice. There's another cool little feature here. If you look here, you see these lines? That's in case, let's say you have a spot, let's say that same spot. Let's say I have a spot where just a part of the fret's a little high. All you would do is, let's say this spot right here is high, you would put the line right above that and just work that spot. So you can actually do not only just a fret with this, all the frets with this, but even a part of a fret with this. That's how detailed this is. It even has holes so you can hang it. Let me hang it where my
Quite the workshop he has.
There you go. That's
all the
it.
toys.
You can't mess up your frets. Now I went ahead and I tried this a ton of different ways, and here's what I can tell you. They're right. You really, I don't want to say can't. It's really hard. As of the time of filming this video, these sell for about $79.99. That's a pretty expensive tool, keeping in mind though that you are going to spend at least that to get work like this done. This tool will pay for itself very quickly. The second time you do it. It is a fantastic tool, and I know, I just got to tell you, I can't recommend enough if you're at home, even though this tool is over $100, about $100, these two tools, literally.
Wow.
This and some steel wool or some micro mesh. Anybody can make their frets as perfect, and that's the important part. I don't mean just get them playable. You can make them as perfect as any tech I know. So it's impressive. This is literally a very, very cool idea. Okay, so before I go any further, I just want to let you know that this video gets previewed to Patreon members and channel members, and they get to ask questions and give suggestions. And they had a pretty interesting question: the quality. How do they feel? Well, interestingly enough, the Music Nomad is heavier. I dare say almost twice as heavy, at least by feel. So it feels very quality. Other thing that's cool is it has this, feels like silicon rubber coating around it, and everything is imprinted and not just like silk screened on like the Z file. So over time, I've wore off a ton of my logos and stuff off my StewMac files. So one thing that's nice is that won't happen with the Music Nomad. The only significant quality that I need to talk about is the diamond flake on this Music Nomad file is not as fine as the Z file. When I've been filing with both these files on a fret, whether it's nickel or stainless steel,
As long as it works,
your polish work at the end is a little bit less with the Z file. However, this angle right here is just really interesting to get around. So the question was, which one do I prefer? I can tell you this: if given the choice of the two, I would have picked just this one, knowing what I know now. So I hope that helps a little. On that note, as always, guys, I want to thank you so much for your time. To the next time, know your gear.
Wow. Quite interesting. Like I said, you know, before watching this, I didn't know exactly what the tool was before doing this reaction video. And as I said at the beginning of it, like, I don't know if I'm going to be doing that level of fret work. I got a tool and a certain file to do the fret sprout that comes out on the fret ends for taking care of that. That seems very straightforward from all the videos that I've watched on that. But, you know, doing actual fret leveling and crowning, I was like, no, not a chance. But now after watching this video and seeing those two tools, not only do I feel quite confident with it, I'm going to buy both those tools. So yeah, once again, that was This Tool is Bad News for Techs Who Charge Too Much by Philip McKnight. Once again, everybody, if you've not already subscribed to Philip McKnight, please go ahead and subscribe right now. Fantastic guitar YouTuber, does a lot of really in-depth reviews of guitars. Not only just does a review of a guitar, how it sounds, like I would, strips them completely apart. Shows you exactly what every little piece of electronics and controls looks like. You get to see what the inside of the cavity of the guitar is like. Fantastic guitar YouTuber. Go and give him a sub. And I also included the link for the original video in my description. Please go there and give a like to the original video. And on this video, my video, also leave a comment on what you'd like to see me react to next. Thanks for checking out this video. If you like what you saw, please subscribe, click the notification bell, like, comment, and share. It doesn't cost a thing and would really help out the channel. Also, please subscribe to my other channel, GK Mac Music, for some live looping live streams with a side of jackassery, some original music, and some short content, also with a side of jackassery. If you'd like to help out the channel financially, you can buy some merch at the merch store, or you can become a channel member. As always, everyone, thanks so much for your continued support. Do what makes you happy.